Welcome back, SuicideFantasyFootball.com, 2012 season. We're going to tell you the quarterbacks that are going to be a bust in fantasy football.
I got to tell you, last year I was right about a lot of things. I was wrong about Cam Newton being a bust. And it hurt all year long, and that's all anybody reminded me of. They didn't look at all the other stuff I got right. It was Cam.
Hey, listen, you picked him up in fantasy football and won a league because of it.
Week two, I picked him up because I knew I was wrong. But this year, same kind of scenario. My bust number one is RG3. I think he's a totally different quarterback than Cam Newton. I think it's a totally different pedigree. I think Mike Shanahan is an idiot. I think he kills quarterbacks. If it's not John Elway and Terrell Davis, Mike Shanahan doesn't do anything.
You still got your McNabb hard on.
Whatever. I'm not even talking about McNabb. Everybody. He killed Jake Plummer. Jake Plummer is one of my favorite all-time quarterbacks in the NFL. Jake the Snake. And Mike Shanahan killed him. Now he's raising goats on a mountain in Colorado. It's ridiculous. RG3 is my number one bust. Number two, Phillip Rivers. I know everybody loves him. He's a fantasy football darling. He's going to suck this year. He lost Vincent Jackson even though he didn't play that much. Antonio Gates has fallen off. There's going to be much tougher defense out there in the AFC West. Phillip Rivers is a bust. He still might be a top 15 quarterback, but he's nowhere near 5, 6, 7 like everybody's talking about drafting him. Number three, same as last year, Josh Freeman. I don't care who he adds, Dallas Clark, anybody else. He's a bust. He's going to be a very average quarterback. I would stay away from him. Number four, Ben Roethlisberger. I know it hurts the Steelers fans, but he's already got injury problems. I don't know if he can stay out of jail or off the injury card for a full year again. I wouldn't be going near Ben Roethlisberger on my fantasy team. Number five, as much as I hate to say it because he's South Jersey's own, I'm going Joe Flacco. He's never, ever going to be a good fantasy football quarterback. He'll win games, he'll deliver, he'll be the little bit better than Trent Dilford in the AFC Championship game, but fantasy football-wise, stay away from Joe Flacco.
All right, I'm going to give you my top five bust. And number one, although I was a Cam Newton fan last year, and not that I think he's going to be a total bust, but where you've got to pick him to get him, you're going to be disappointed as you do it. So for me, that's considered a bust. Second, although I hate to say it as an Eagles fan, watching him in camp, I just don't see the chemistry with the receivers. I have a feeling that Mike Vick is going to underperform again in 2012. Third is Peyton Manning, another guy who, not that I think he's going to be a total bust, although that injury bug is so close to being there. I mean, you're not talking about, like Jim said, you don't not draft based on injuries, but a guy with 4 neck surgeries, I say maybe you do.
Don't draft him.
Fourth, Ben Roethlisberger. I'm with Jim. No Mike Wallace, or who knows what Mike Wallace is going to be if he gets back to camp. Antonio Brown's no number one wide receiver. I think he's going to struggle. He's got the little bit of a tear in his rotator cuff. I know he did decent last year after he did it, but stay away from Big Ben. Especially if you're going running back and receivers early and waiting for that quarterback late, don't do it. Fifth is going to be Andy Dalton, Jim. I know I'm killing your gingers today.
The red rifle.
Andy Dalton coming back to earth in his sophomore season, and I say stay away from him, not even as a backup. There's better value out there. So that's our bust at the quarterback position, Jim. Remind everybody where to check us out.
SuicideFantasyFootball.com is our website. Facebook, we're at Suicide, or Twitter, we're at SFFinsider.com. Facebook, we're Suicide Fantasy Football. And subscribe to our videos down below, giving you content every week, helping you win your leagues.